Well, being on stage with this guy over here, Eugene, it's like joining the circus.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? You have a good time.
Yeah.
I know I'm having a good time up there with him. Sometimes we look at each other, we're like, what are we doing?
For Audio Technica and AT1 Radio, this is At Sometime Somewhere. I'm Jacob Derwin. Today I'm joined by Vinnie Stigma and Eugene Hutz. They're best known for their work with Agnostic Front and Gogol Bordello, respectively. Now they've teamed up to produce The Outlaw, a new country album by Stigma on the Casa Gogol Records label. Eugene and Vinnie, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. So you guys just had the album release. How was the record release? Tell me about the whole party.
Been great. Eugene really did, hooked it up. We did a little mini tour, we got in the studio, the guys gelled, and we went on a little tour, and the record's doing good, getting a lot of good response.
Oh, amazing. What were some of the tour destinations y'all hit for this one?
Well, we were in D.C., Philly,
East
Brooklyn
Coast.
Bowl, East Coast.
Yeah, familiar stomping grounds for the both of you?
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Philly, the legendary Philly Underground Arts, and 930 Club, all the good places that got the vibe down,
And this is your first time pursuing country.
This is my first
on an
country album.
How long has this been kind of percolating?
Well, me and a friend of mine used to go on tour when he was in the early 90s, when I was I'm in Agnostic Front, and he was in the U.S. Bombs. So after we played the show, me and him, we were having a bromance. And we just used to get together, just drink and sing country songs out of nowhere.
Okay.
He came one time, he landed in Germany. He come from a Civil War reenactment. I was like, no, you can't wear that. Come here, Mike, give me a hat. Take that hat off. He loves that stuff.
Civil War reenactments?
Yeah,
Wow.
he was a stuntman in a Western show. Like he likes that stuff.
Deep in it.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He's the right guy, right, Eugene?
Absolutely. And it's kind of incredible connection there that, while Vinny and Chip were doing that, I was on a parallel track somewhere out there doing a thing where, I hold New York hardcore and hardcore music in more panoramic way as very dear, as kind of very, very, super influential and, important for me as kind of a way. That's the music that made me feel home, let's put it this way, here once I was transplant, And in the same time, I was kind of on a parallel track, kind of developing a knack for stripping down hardcore songs into more country folk way, kind of taking it back to the Woody Guthrie land.
Yeah.
And so there's an interesting connection that's been bubbling up for years. And you see Walter Schreifels, who came out on tour with us too, from Gorilla Biscuits, and the Youth of Today and Quicksand. He's also kind of was on a similar path as a songwriter, where he's capable of coming out on stage and just playing that whole Gorilla Biscuits set and just on acoustic guitar.
Yeah.
So that tradition is really is there firmly in a hardcore texture, And so this is a really interesting project where we all kind of could, angle it towards that it is Woody Guthrie still underneath somehow,
That brings up the question, for these shows, are you playing solo for the most part? Or is there a backing band with you?
No, we got the band back.
Oh, you got the band back.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Cause basically Eugene's band,
Oh, fabulous.
backing me up. But we're together as a team, We're just doing a new project for the Casa Gogol record label, and see what we can do here.
Yeah, Leo, our guitar player from Gogol Bordello, was just perfectest fit because he's a hardcore guy who is also very versatile. He's all over with the country and ska and bachata.
He's the right guy for the job, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's a real gunslinger and all this stuff. And Sergey, our violin player, was a great touch. And Chip, who was fundamental in making the record, and Roy, it was just, we put it together fast, fun, and furious, and there it was. East Coast, here we come.
How long did it take to record?
I went out to Arizona like last summer to record it. You know?
Wow! So one summer it was kind of
I did all the videos in the desert. I was
perfect.
shooting guns in the desert.
Hell yeah!
I had an armament guy come with me to shoot. I was shooting guns from the 1800s.
Oh my gosh!
And oh boy, they're loud.
Can't believe they let you do that.
Yeah, well, I had the guy with me.
That helps,
he took me down to the gun range. It's all safety. And I'm running around the desert, and it's just
Got
fun.
the hat on and everything. Doing the
Oh
full-
yeah, it was hot.
Speaking of reenactment, there you go.
Yeah.
I remember reading an interview from you, Eugene, about being influenced a lot by a lot of the American kind of pivotal singer-songwriters. I guess Canadian too. I saw you quote like Leonard Cohen and Johnny Cash, obviously.
Yeah.
Were you guys able to bond over those kinds of musicians going into this project? It seems like kind of an obvious parallel from
It
Cash
was an
to
obvious
this.
parallel, but we didn't gloat over that.
Sure.
We just wanted to do our own thing. We threw like kind of a New York edge into it, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, I always wanted to like do a country record,
Yeah.
and then I gotta say, the fellas in the band, they all dressed up. They had the cowboy western wear,
Full outfit?
full outfits.
Gorgeous.
We came
It
out
was
with.
we were just waiting for it. I wasn't
Yeah.
even buying anything. It was just there for this day.
Yeah, right. It was
We all got a call
right?
finally. Yeah.
Now you can really wear that cowboy hat.
Yeah. Hey,
You
man,
know?
it's back in style, man.
Like I love
yeah.
westerns, you know. I'm wrestling on Thursday. I love wrestling, so I ventured into wrestling. I'm going to wrestle at St. Mary's in Brooklyn.
All
I
right.
do outlaw wrestling.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look into that. All right, give me one
You're
moment.
welcome to come.
I mean, I kind of just need to
I
know
might,
what this
I
is
might get
about.
you in the ring there somehow.
Eugene, you were just King Neptune at the
yeah.
Mermaid Parade.
Yeah.
I need to bring it up. It just happened.
I know. It's another thing, kind of like I got the call.
Yeah.
Because I'm always on tour at this time.
Right.
For 20 years, you know, it was always like
The circus has been in
it
motion.
was just
for a
there in the
while.
mix.
Yeah.
Because you know, I'm a carny. You know, like I'm a pro carny. You know, like
Absolutely.
and you know, I don't get tired on the road. It's like it's you know, it's normal. It just kind of fell into place, you know, and it's I mean, it's music. You know, it's a culture for the people, by the people. Completely crazy ass creativity displayed by people dressing up and just making the best of their, you know, internal expression, and a lot of brass, a lot of street sass, a lot of twerking, you know, pro level twerking.
Were you part of the pro level twerking? Or?
Yes, well, as a queen was definitely championing the discipline.
Absolutely. Championing the discipline.
Yeah.
Incredible way of putting that. I mean, so it was just someone gave you a call, and immediately you're just like, I'm in.
It was somebody who is deeply in the fabric of New Yorkness of it all. It's like, you know, it's Kelly Catrone and Adam Reen, who's the art director of the thing, you know, who's been to our shows before, you know, many times. So it's kind of like, you know, had to happen, and there it was.
I was going to say, like, I imagine, like at many of the band's shows, probably a certain amount of colorful get-ups, characters.
We're married to carnival culture, you know.
Yeah,
I lived in Brazil for 7 years almost, you know, 6.5.
Okay.
And so all these carnivals, you know, I was soaked in it. I understand it. I get it.
Yeah.
And the blueprint of the event is the same, except I wasn't so static I wasn't sitting in one place. I was kind of preferred to be all over the place the way people do it in the carnival. There's a runner, you know.
Oh yeah.
There's a carnival runner, you know, that kind of makes things go bunkers buck wild. So I was all over the place, and it started the day before. I was telling Vinny just a second ago. It's like Mermaid Parade was on Saturday, but on Friday I went to saw Murphy's Law and Irving Plaza. So it's like I crawled in a tunnel on Friday night, you know, sitting with Murphy's Law. Lineup was stellar. AJ on guitar, from Leeway and from Stigma, and Big B on the bass, and Phil from Monster Magnet on guitar.
Oh shoot, Monster Magnet. Really?
Yeah. So it was a really amazing show. You know, I had a blast, and that's when Mermaid Parade began for me. Then it's like I crawled in that tunnel and crawled out on Sunday night. You know.
Amazing.
Well, being on stage with this guy over here, Eugene, it's like joining the circus.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? You have a good time.
Yeah.
I know I'm having a good time up there with him. Sometimes we look at each other, we're like, what are we doing? Like, right? That moment, you know?
And that's the moment.
And that's the moment that I love.
It's a shot of adrenaline, I can
Yeah,
imagine.
it's awesome.
I guess for me it was a tremendous kind of the gateway into this was when I got to sing with Vinny and with Agnostic Front with Roger, you know, with Mike Gallo on a show in Boston.
Oh,
on
when
the
was
book
this?
signing show.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and one in Vermont also.
Oh, yeah, where your father was there.
Where my father was there,
Oh,
and
wow.
our whole Vermont hardcore crew was there.
Sure.
So you know,
It's a couple years ago or pretty recently?
this was like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, yeah.
one in December and one like a year and a half ago.
Oh, so fairly recent. So this all came together kind of quickly. It sounds like that.
It did.
Yeah.
It did. Oh, the first time I met Vinnie was in 1991.
1991.
Okay, I take it back. It's been 30 years. Never mind.
Yeah, I was just straight off the boat.
Oh, that one. But the first time I remember him, he came to my show at the Jesse's place,
Power Electric, yeah.
the Barry Electric, and he's
hell
standing right on stage with his foot up and like on the stage, and he's like chanting and screaming and yelling, and I'm like, wow, this guy's cool. So he was wearing these crazy shoes. So I had a little sweat towel that I was, and I said, the hell, let me just go shine the shoes. And I was just shining the shoes during this. I mean, what are you doing down there? I'm like, I'm having fun. I'm having a good time,
Oh my God,
wow.
yeah.
So you guys have been kindred spirits for a
I
real
just
long
love,
time.
I like fooling around while I'm playing guitar.
Yeah, man.
I mean, entertainer of all entertainers, seriously. It's like, that's the thing about, a lot of people don't really maybe fully understand it, and a lot of musicians deal with that because you get your main kind of thing out there, whether it's New York hardcore or, psychedelic rock, whatever. And people just kind of box you into this thing. But reality is that these people are real artists.
Yeah.
They have many dimensions, and this country record is just another proof of that. I mean, I always thought that Vinnie was just such an amazing entertainer beyond being godfather of hardcore music. And the whole New York thing is also it's kind of part of being living in New York creatively is that it's kind of unpredictable. You never know really what other thing people have up the sleeve,
It's true. Well, I was going to ask about that term Godfather. I feel like every time I do research on Vinnie, the word Godfather is right there next to your name. How do you feel about that title, the Godfather of New York hardcore?
Well, because I'm from the neighborhood. I live a few blocks from here, from Little Italy. I'm Italian. I guess I was a little elder.
Sure.
Always respect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you could only lose honor. So I always treated people really nice. You ask anybody, like for instance, this guy was shining his shoes. You know what I mean? You ask Lou Collar from Sick of It All. He was sitting in the corner. He had long hair. He first came around. I go over and talk to him. I go over and meet. I just like meeting people and talking. That's just how I am.
The first time I met Vinnie was after Agnostic show in Vermont. I was barely speaking English. I was literally just standing against the wall after a show, and Vinnie was just walking by with a crew. And he goes, "Come on, kid, get in! You got to be with the gang." That's all it takes to be. Because it was. Yeah. I just saw this person burning through time and space on stage, and then I see this person welcoming me into the hang where it's like he didn't have to do that. Yeah. It's a calling of a community spearheader. It's something absolutely special that most people don't take on doing. And then it's like, and Vinny is so known for that, and I've experienced it firsthand. I know it. It's like, whenever somebody says Vinny's godfather of that, I'm like, of course he is. It's like,
when I'm backstage and all either my band or other bands, I'm like, what are you doing back here? Come on, let's go out and meet the real people. Exactly.
Do you think there's a misunderstanding for people who are maybe outside of punk, outside of hardcore? They don't understand the kind of community aspect that comes with
yes,
genre.
I do. But I explain it to them as far as music-wise. I say it's like punk rock because they get the idea of punk rock.
Yeah.
I say it's like punk rock 100 miles an hour. So they get like it's fast, it's crazy. They don't know, but they know.
But they don't always know that it's such kind of a friendly environment. I was talking in another interview about how I've never met a mean goth. It's like I've never met anyone from the hardcore scene who is like off-putting. Everybody wants you to be a part of the thing. There's a real no, come, get in the pit. We'll pick you up when you fall down.
Inclusive, yeah.
Tell me about that inclusivity and how it plays into your shows, into your communities.
I don't consider them my fans. I consider them my friends. Exactly. You know what I mean? Because at the end of every the Outlaw show, there's a long outro, and I go off stage and I thank everybody in the audience, and it's so heartwarming. I mean, I see people and they tell me how much it means to them, and I tell them how much it means. It means the world to me, that like you even came to see my, like it. I appreciate these people very much. They're my family.
Yeah.
You know.
I think a lot of artists can learn something from that.
Yeah, I mean, just they're here with us.
Yeah.
So they're our guests.
Yep. Yeah. Being a host.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just hosting this crowd, entertaining them. You know.
Absolutely.
And I hope I do a good job.
I think you have been for a long time now.
I'm trying.
Absolutely.
Hardcore community certainly stands out as a kind of emblem of like super inclusive, just a brotherhood, sisterhood thing. Where originally, when I was placed in Vermont as a refugee when I first came, that's where I was exposed to most of the first hardcore and punk shows. I started bringing other kids, from Ukraine, and met a lot of at 242 Main at this club that was kind of very well known, and kind of teen center converted to a punk and hardcore club.
Yeah.
Kids from Vietnam and Indonesia and Philippines, and it kind of they felt included. You see them coming in first time, they come in like wearing some Salvation Army clothes like me, and then next time, a couple more times they already like got their boots on. So it's like international language of like, hey, here's a global transglobal culture here, where you can feel good and move on with your life,
It's hardcore worldwide, It's I played Jakarta and places like that. I hopped around the Southeast Asia, and the girls would come in with hijabs on their head, and they were us.
Yeah.
And they were us. They were like, and the guys are us. You know what I mean? They're on the other side of the world, but they get it. They understand that like we come, like as a brother, and I still get calls from them. They call me uncle. Well, it's a sign of respect.
It is,
in
absolutely.
Asia.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a certain level of like, this is the guy who brought us into this whole thing.
But so they come with sandals on their feet. You know what I mean? I'm used to boots.
Yeah.
One time I winded up at punk rock bowling. It was snowing in New York. They flew us out, and they picked us up with a limousine. Like, right, really? And they drove us to a pool party, and there we are with our luggage, coats, hats, boots. Everybody's wearing flip-flops, and like we're standing there like a sore thumb. I loved it.
I wanted to ask about the difference between performing, I guess, quote unquote punk rock or whatever genre, things that are loud and fast versus things that are a little bit more stripped down, like a country.
Well, hardcore is high octane.
Yeah,
it's high energy. It's fast. I don't finesse the guitar. I choke the neck.
Yeah,
like I want to fuck. Just I can't help myself. I don't play correctly on the guitar. Sure. I just go for it.
Yeah.
And the country is I sing in the band, but it's a different pace.
Yeah, is it
you
hard
to
to
pace
adjust?
yourself?
Yeah. Is it tricky to make that adjustment?
Yes, it is a little bit because I'm so ready to go.
When you take on a project like that, you have to elevate, and I look forward to any kind of projects that make you want to do your next level best, because to musically direct this particular band in a style of country of which I vaguely know.
Right.
Sure.
I mean, I'm a massive fan, of course. I love Outlaw country, and and Merle Haggard, and going through songs and Waylon Jennings, and just going through the good stuff.
Yeah.
Let alone, of course, Johnny Cash, which is the needless to say is there in a knowledge.
Yeah.
But when you take something on like that, you study up. And you crispy it up, and you get precise, and that you realize that, well, this time my job is not going to be choking here, just that I'm going to have to get on a level of further finesse with certain aspects, and you get the players that are really good and are maniacal about finesse, like Sergey and Leo, like those are not reckless players.
No.
Like us.
Yeah, like us, exactly. You get the players, and then and out of the synergy, and you go and watch the process, and it's all of all you can. I love the whole process because we walked into the room. First time I met Chip was in that rehearsal, Chip and Roy. We walked in and it was sit down, set up, Okay, and looked at each other. Okay,
Now what?
and now what? And let it begin.
Let it begin, and it grew a little because now we added that intro, the style of the intro, the pace of the intro. We added on the Jesus.
exactly.
We added more gospel on one of our songs at the end. You know what I mean? And then the ending, I never planned on doing that. We didn't plan on this whole act. You know, the pace of it, the vibe, the arrangement of the song. So we had a lot to do.
Yeah.
You know, and I can't believe we did it. Really, Eugene, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was amazing, and there is also, you know, as you join a project like that, which is kind of, it is a wild west of its own.
Yeah.
You know, it has to be somehow intact with the outlaw country vibes.
Yep.
But you also see where it wants to go, where the collective entity wants to go.
Yeah.
What everybody individually brings in and how you sculpt it, and you have to sculpt it fast.
Yep.
You know, because the show is like tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right.
That's right. Amazing. Well, I want to thank you guys so much for being here and doing this, taking time out of your day. Thank you. And you can find us on Instagram at AT1Radio, AT_ONE_radio. And you can learn more about Audio-Technica and its many excellent headphones, microphones, products like these, and more on our website, audiotechnica.com. That's audio-technica.com. Thanks again, guys. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Jacob.
All right.
Thanks, man.
AT1